My name's Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody who is feeling lost. They don't really have a clear direction. They may have gone through a lot of different challenging experiences with others, but they've left that resentment or that sense of loss to just kind of like simmer. And as a result, it makes them kind of lash out or feel a bit careless towards other people's feelings. This is someone who likes to get attention, who likes to see people fighting over them, or who enjoys that like short burst in like a situationship or in a talking stage, but doesn't know how to address the problems that block them from being able to be serious with those connections. Hello, James. Hello, Key Controller. How are we doing today? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. You can also find out how to order a candle, one of my candles. They are linked in the description box as well. Let's see what we've got from the Soul Cat Tarot. Hello, Joaquin. Hello, Cozy Cat. How we doing? What else do we have? The Magician and the Two of Pentacles. The Wheel. Yeah, definitely someone who plays games. But I also feel this is someone who is quite charming and they can kind of change on a dime. So depending on who's in the room with them, they'll have a slightly different perspective or even personality. This is someone who feels like they can win over just about anyone. They just, mirror or try to get as much as they can observationally before they interact with somebody. But they feel like they're smarter than a lot of people. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Five of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles. We could be dealing with a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. This is someone who finds it really easy or convenient to keep things short and sweet. It's been nice talking to you, but oh gosh, look at the time. It's already been 7 days. I guess I better start talking to somebody else. I'll make it seem like I'm going to continue to put in the effort, but that effort is short-lived. And once it's gone, it doesn't really come back. So entertaining for short bursts before they move on to somebody else. Hello, Gigi. How are you doing? Hello. Can I call you Dee Dee? Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Hello, Eric. What's up? Interesting. So we had the Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Five of Pentacles. And I thought to myself, it would be really nice if we got the Six of Pentacles. Now we did have the Eight of Pentacles come out in between that, so it's not quite as amusing as I would like, but we still have a nice little run. Yeah. The only problem is this is somebody who feels like they can get even with whoever did them wrong by passing on their anger to new people. This is like, I'm going to stay single. I'm not interested in being vulnerable. But if, I break some hearts along the way, oh well. That's just like the cost of doing business. Hello, Crom. How are you doing? Glad to hear that, Carrie. Hello, Kimmy. How are you doing? We've got the Two of Wands and the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Selfish energy. In order to feel better about myself, because I still feel a little bit salty about that thing that happened in the past, I'm going to try to get as many people like on the hook as possible, make sure that they're validating my self-esteem or the way I view myself. And then once I feel like it's getting too close, I end the connection and move on to something else. So they like the chase for a little bit and then they get bored. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Cups in the reverse, and the World. Uh-oh. So this is someone who is playing games and dating probably multiple people at the same time and feeling like they're kind of invincible. No one can break their heart because they cut it off too early, or they never let anybody actually get close to them. But this Queen of Pentacles is like, hold my beer. Let's teach this person a lesson. Now, I don't think they're literally out here like, that person needs to learn that they can't keep breaking hearts. Maybe they are. But I do think that this Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is a good partner, is reliable, faithful, what you would, want to actually have in a relationship. And I feel like this is about to make it very difficult for our magician to keep playing games with people with no consequences. They're going to feel an emotional setback. Hey, Davey, sorry it's not your thing. Apparently spelling is also not your thing. It's W-I-T-C-H. The more you know. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Just keep in mind, if you want to train your algorithm to deliver up the content that you actually want to watch, Davey, you probably don't want to comment on the videos that you don't like. Hello, Famous Seamus. How we doing? Hello, Renee. I hope you're having a good one. Aw, I hope that gets better for you, Key Controller. No more sneezing. We have the Lovers and the, Five of Wands. Yeah, this is like, I'm going to tell all of you I think you're attractive. I'm going to flirt with you for like 24 hours, and then I'm going to invite you all to the same place. I'm going to sit back in my throne, and I'm going to watch you fight over me. It's like that's their fantasy. That's their daydream. Yes, everybody, go on. Tell me why you're the best person for me to choose. Oh, no. I'm not going to marry any of you. This isn't The Bachelor. We're just going to hang out for a weekend. It's cool. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm slightly concerned. Hey, Matt, how are you doing? I don't know why there was some screaming in the background. I think everything's okay, but that was a little unnerving. Hello, Heidi. How are you doing? Scarlett O'Hara. I have heard that, user. But, there's exceptions to every rule, but yeah, it could be difficult. Eric, I do the general reading for the first 30 to 35 minutes, and we're at about 8 minutes in, a little bit over. And then I take personal questions after that with priority to those who tip or donate. You can also donate a membership to somebody. So we have the Three of Swords, the Hierophant in the reverse. They want people to fight over them, right? So there's multiple people that they're talking to. And then while they're talking to this Queen of Pentacles, someone who is a pretty good catch, they do something wrong. And the Queen of Pentacles is like, okay, well, I guess it's not meant to be. I guess you got other things going on, and I would hate to interrupt you with that other, dalliance or whatever you got going on over there. What's up, Galaxy King? Hello, Jordan. This is a general reading. I hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, JW. Do you? Ooh. Hello, Ton. How are you doing? We've got Three of Cups in the reverse, King of Pentacles in the reverse, and Judgment. Yeah, so basically there's karma in store for this person who likes to play games with people's hearts. They might think that they can get through this dating bonanza unscathed, and it's just going to be all the people in their wake that are dealing with the broken heart because they never put down any roots. They never let it get too serious. And then the universe is like, let's send this person somebody that they'll fall in love with in like 3 days. They'll have no chance, none at all. So this magician who likes to break hearts encounters this Queen of Pentacles, does the same shenanigans, cannot focus on one person. Please keep in mind the magician can be any gender. The Queen of Pentacles does not need to be a woman. And with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, we have somebody who's exhibiting that non-committal energy, right? Like, I don't think I want to do that. I will just make it confusing for you, and you'll have no clue what's really going on. Hey there, Spartan. You're welcome to share your beliefs. No worries on that. Just make sure you're being respectful towards other people's beliefs. The live chat will be a lot less fun if you feel like doing the fire and brimstone thing. That goes for you as well, Olga. I don't really like it when people are yelling in the live chat, so I'm just going to remove that. Please keep that in mind as well, Sunny. If we can do the regular old lowercase, that would be great. Olga, get out of here with that. Come on now. Hello, I. How are you doing? It's me, your boy. Hello, Vic. What's going on? Yeah, I don't blame you, user. I also have to. Ooh, hello, Maria. How are you doing? All right. So we've got the Queen of Cups. We have the Santa Muerte card, and we have the Three of Wands. Okay. So this is somebody who's used to playing a lot of games, and I do feel like they are a bit promiscuous. And this Queen of Pentacles is someone that they could actually see themselves being in a long-term relationship with, even if it's hard for them to admit it to themselves. And we've got a pregnancy here. Now, this is a general reading, so it could take a couple different shapes. It could be that this Queen of Pentacles ends up pregnant. It could be the magician ends up pregnant. It could be there's a third party who ends up pregnant and ruins whatever, or like puts a damper on whatever love is in the air kind of energy happens between the magician and the Queen of Pentacles. But it does throw everyone for a loop. This is a notification or somebody talking about a pregnancy, and they're bringing it up is making the magician nervous, making them feel like they need to have some sort of strategy. Yep, it happens. Yeah, feel better, Key. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles, a card about family. Someone is having a baby. Four of Cups in the reverse, and it is confirmed, I feel like, by a DNA test that it is, in fact, this person's. The Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, whoever is the paternal element here, there's a test and it proves, yeah, it's yours. Probably the Magician, but it doesn't have to be. It could also be saying the Magician is the father of someone else's child, right? I just want to be clear, though, that that Magician doesn't have to be a man. There is, however, some complication in this flirtation because someone is now saying, hey, I think we actually started a family. I know we weren't going for that. I know that wasn't what you were trying to do. Temperance is the mixing of two things. You know what I'm saying, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of your genome, a little bit of that genome. Ooh, a new human. We got a little bit of a surprise baby. And the Magician does look a little bit shocked, right? Yeah. So now we have a test. We have a choice for this person. Are you going to invest in this relationship? Are you going to run away? Are you going to try to make some changes so that you can do right by your obligations? Is this person going to become more commitment friendly or, you know, capable? What's going to happen now that they've found this out? We'll see if the knocked up card comes out. This is What's the News. Hello, Gianna. How are you doing? Hello, Get Out. How's it going? Hello, Savita. Hello, Laxo. Thank you. Hello, Linton. How are you doing? Machismo. Masculine pride, toxic masculinity, meeting manly expectations. This is a problem that somebody has to work on, and there's some good fortune that happens, even though initially it might be seen as rotten luck. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Now you're telling me there's consequences to the horizontal mambo. What? That's how it works? I do think we have someone who tries to get out of this responsibility or say, you know, it wasn't me, like Shaggy. I think there is something that proves whoever is the parent, and now this looks like we have to, you know, really think about it. Am I going to move forward with this? How am I going to approach the conversation with others? Am I going to be in a committed relationship? Now we have the dirty money card. Laundering, steal, illegal. So part of the reason this person plays games, part of the reason they avoid commitment is because they don't always do things that follow the law or that follow the advice of others. They can be quite difficult or even stubborn, but I do think that there's something here where if I had, you know, somebody that I was dating, they would probably catch on and tell me, like, I can't do that anymore, or I need to change that. Which might happen now that there might be a child in the picture, right? Hello, Angela. How are you doing? Thank you, James. Yeah, so there was some pretty strong attraction that led to some questionable decisions. Or, you know, some, can I say hanky-panky? Will you guys make fun of me for it? And now there is a blessing on the way. What should we go for? We'll go with the Golden Lenormand. We could see number 13, which is the child. Or the storks. That's also pretty closely associated with pregnancy, isn't it? Number 27, the envelope, the message. Number 24, the heart. Number 7, the snake. And number 30, the lily. So we have someone who's saying, I have some news. There's something I need to tell you. And we also have, I feel like it's the magician. I feel like we have someone saying, that can't possibly be true. There's no way that that's how my life is going. They may even start an argument, like, I can't believe you would try to, you know, lie to me about that. But I think this person comes around. I think initially there's like an angry outburst, and then someone like takes a minute and thinks about it, and they're like, maybe this isn't the worst thing that could happen. Maybe I would actually really enjoy having a kid. They're reconsidering the initial response to it. I got you, James. Thank you for the tip. Compassion. Hello, Zadoja. How are you doing? It does tend to be the case. Okay. Should I let Uncle I added that for you, James. Hello, good luck. How are you doing? Secret. Uh-huh. Okay, so we have somebody who's like doubting this. And I think that's more so like, I just don't want it to be true. So this could be why we have someone maybe even asking for a DNA test. But the thing is, I do feel like this is something that helps the magician appreciate the, I don't know, the humanity they forgot, the compassion they left behind, the love they wanted to reject. It forces them to be a little bit more involved with their own emotions. We're going to pull a few from the Voyage of the Soul. Let's see if this person is going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul or gaining some wisdom, hopefully. Hello, Tatters. How are you doing? Hello. Is it Chive? Oh, the Hive. How are you doing? Maybe I'm just hungry. Hello, Grace. Tatters, I do personal questions after the general reading, which is in about 10 minutes, with priority to those who tip or donate. You can also donate a membership. Futuristic visions. Innovative, crafty plans, and trendsetter. Bloom. Radiance, goddess, beauty, attract, nectar, and glow. The person here who is pregnant is glowing. And I do feel feeling pretty happy, even if there is a little bit of a question here as to involvement of others. But I think there is a little bit of daydreaming happening where, you know, maybe initially I was mad about this, but now I'm starting to think maybe it is time for me to think about my legacy or having a family. Ancestors, foundation, root, family, lineage, security. This person's changing their mind on the concept of family, even though they might still have some issues regarding commitment. I think they're starting to see that this might actually be something that makes them happy. Hello, Chris. How are you doing? Hello, Juno. Have a good day, Chris. So we have awakened, eyes open, awareness, spiritual quest, epiphanies, and empath and energy. Sensitivity, receptive, alone time, absorb, replenish, life force, chakras, Reiki, intangible, subtle, and crystals. This person's going through a spiritual awakening because they are contemplating the family they're about to have. Their ability to understand other people's emotions, or at least try to, at least like, you know, understand different perspectives, it's become more important to them. The things that they felt they could just kind of ignore or weren't a big deal, now they're paying closer attention to. So this has kind of thrown them for a loop. They are changing their mind on a few things, saying things differently. Hello, Asmi, how you doing? Have a good one, Carrie. This is a gamer's ways. Bounty. Some players complete a bounty for the coins. Some do it for the XP. You do it for justice. No matter what kind of locale you're exploring, the skills will be balanced in your favor. Or in your wake, sorry. Save point. The wizard sits and reflects on a time when save points were few and far between. There are things to be learned from the difficulties of times past, and it is wise to stop and consider what knowledge to bring forward. Not only is the magician thinking about what they need to do for their own life to move forward, it feels like now we also have someone thinking about what would I teach someone if that is my kid, what's an important thing to pass on? So they are thinking about this legacy element. Paywall. The developers have thrown us a curveball. It might seem unfair that they would charge more for content that would improve our standing in the community, but it will be okay. Nothing breeds skill and grit like hard times. Yeah, this is someone who's worried about finances, but after some contemplation, I think they start to realize this is more doable and maybe worth it. And they're warming up to the idea of being a parent. Hello, Nathaniel. How are you doing? Hello, Angel. I hope you're having a good day. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Strength. And the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this is someone saying I'm up to the task. I know initially I was not looking to be connected to somebody, or I was afraid of commitment, but if I need to be involved, then I need to be involved. Starts turning into I want to be involved. King of Swords in the reverse. The Sun. Ace of Pentacles. So I'm angry and I don't believe it at first, and I'm saying surely this is like someone else's life, not mine. But then we have this person changing their mind and realizing maybe this is actually something that would make me happy. By the way, the Sun would indicate a male child, but this is a general reading, so keep in mind that's not necessarily going to be for everyone. But then we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is a blessing, and this magician has the ability to change their life because of this opportunity. 8 of Pentacles. The magician starts to consider their work, consider their financial security, their living situation. And I do feel like there's an effort here to get like a certification or shadow somebody, learn a new skill. This is like, what can I do to like level up in terms of my expertise or my work? We have the Page of Cups in the reverse and the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Hello, Margarita. How are you doing? Yeah, this is someone who's saying, yeah, maybe initially I was mad or rejected this idea, felt like maybe it was, you know, a hoax or a joke that you were playing on me, but now they're seeing this as an opportunity. Now they're thinking, you know, maybe this is something that was meant to happen and I should just embrace it. So good for them. Oh, no worries. Is there another question you have, James? Let me know. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? Page of Wands. The Devil. This person is worried or has always been worried about a person being able to have some kind of hold over them or, you know, like having an obligation. But it seems like this is starting to vanish. This person's starting to see, you know, maybe I was being a little bit silly how I view that, or maybe I wasn't being honest with myself that that is something that I actually want. So it's like the magician's getting to the point where they're saying, you know, I wouldn't have ordered that, but since you brought it out, I'm gonna eat it. Not the baby, but you know, sometimes they get your order wrong at a restaurant. I've had this happen. And even though I might have been real excited about something else, they bring out like a pasta with a different sauce or something, or like there's mushrooms in it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. We'll make it work. This is someone who's saying this wasn't really in my like bingo card for the year, but if this is where it's gonna go, I think I can make the best of it. Let's see what we've got from the Energy Oracle, and then we'll start those personal questions. Okay, sounds good, James. No need to apologize. Ooh, Margarita. kinda. We ain't gonna talk about that. That's a little too threatening for the live chat, okay? What else do we have? We have the man holding a heart, walking away, woman holding a coin, and angel of strength. So this man holding a heart is our magician. Doesn't have to be a man, pretty likely in this story, but it doesn't have to be. This is someone who's been afraid of that commitment, afraid of letting anybody get too close. Well, they let someone get close, at least, you know, sexually. And now that closeness has resulted in someone, you know, starting a family. So this is what enables them to realize what's really important and what motivates them to make the changes that they've needed to for a while. They might be changing who they hang out with. They might be finding a different job. They might be going back to school. They might be finding that their spare time could be better spent working on projects or spending time with people that are important to them. But there's a major shift for this magician because of this unexpected, probably falling a little bit in love with somebody, but definitely coming to terms with and even embracing or being excited about a family starting without them necessarily planning on it, right? Well, yeah, standing up for your family is an important thing. I agree. All right, let's see what we've got for James. Should James let his uncle stay at his place? Should James let his uncle stay at his place? Yes, but there needs to be very clear communication, or maybe even like a document that he signs regarding how long and what the rules are. This could go poorly if there's not good communication, but I think more than likely it will go well. You just have to make sure that there's nothing that makes you feel like you are, you know, not able to live the way you want to in your own place. So just, you know, draft up a short little, like, here are the expectations, you know, make sure that you clean up after yourself. I'm going to let you be in charge of taking the garbage out, or, you know, contribute X amount to groceries, or whatever you feel is fair. You know, we'll have until the middle of March, and then we'll have to renegotiate or revisit this conversation. But it says just be very clear about what is okay with you. Hello, AWS, what's going on? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Melissa. Did I say hello to Matt? Hello. So the thing is, I do feel like there's been some pretty significant troubles that he's gone through, and my heart goes out to him. I hope he has some healing and some forward movement. And a little bit of assistance will help him, but he also needs to know there's independence at the end of that, because I don't want it to turn into codependency. If you leave the departure date ambiguous or don't define it, then there could be an argument or a problem. Like with having some sort of a deadline, or here's when, you know, I'll allow you to stay through, that might also help in terms of motivation to figure something else out, right? Awesome. Well, I hope that goes well for you, James, and I also hope things improve for your uncle. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Doodles.